Alright lads, so this morning we did get the announcement of our next Guild Quest schedule. And this schedule is going to be in effect for the next 2 or so months. And the reason why we even look at this is because it does give us a potential hint at what type of characters are going to release at certain moments in the next 2 months. More so in regard to their performance in Guild Quest. But if you are looking forward to a certain range with a certain killer, you might want to start saving for that if you feel like it is going to come up. Just to give a recent example, last time we made a Guild Quest schedule video, we said end of month October was going to give us a new ranged striper killer. And since I care about my Guild Quest scores, I was tired of using 7th anniversary Ichigo. I wanted to make sure I had some mobs saved up for end of month October. And we got exactly that, a new ranged striper killer. Fortunately for me, it was the character I was wanting equally as much, that being Giselle. So with this Guild Quest schedule, we can have a potential look at what we are going to get in our upcoming end of month, and also potentially, if we scroll down long enough, what we might see at the end of the year. So first up, the very first Guild Quest of this schedule, it's going to be happening at the end of the month, so very likely these killers here are going to be seen in our upcoming end of month banner, which if you did miss that, we'll talk about it more tomorrow, but it seems like we are getting a Christmas themed banner. Now, usually when a new character does come out, killers like to push a Nightmare Guild Quest to promote that character even more, and very likely what we are going to see here is Nightmare Ranged Quincy Guild Quest and Nightmare Human Melee Guild Quest. It's been data mined for the last couple of so days now, but we do know that Toshiro, Sajin, and also Soifon are set to return, so very likely they're going to use this particular Guild Quest week to promote the return of 1000 Year Blood War Soifon. I don't assume we are going to getting any new melee human killers. I think that Guild Quest is already stacked as is. And to be fair, most Guild Quest phases as of right now have their dedicated lead, have almost their dedicated normal attack damage characters, and any new character is just going to be a tad bit better, but definitely not needed by any means. So yeah, this Guild Quest phase, I don't believe is going to promote any new human killers, because if we have a look at our melee human characters that we can use in Guild Quests, I mean, to be fair, getting an additional lead wouldn't really be too bad. Again, more options is never a bad thing. As of right now, especially when it comes to Nightmare Human Guild Quest, you really do want to have Soifon, the 1000 Year Blood War one. You can potentially make it work using this one, the Fierce Battle Soifon. You know, she has a trap effect SA3, she has a good chance to inflict paralysis with her SA2 and 3 as well. Damage output definitely is lacking, but you can make it work if you are potentially using other good normal attack damage characters alongside her. And if I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure I did make the Fierce Battle Soifon work in Nightmare Guild Quest, but it is tough. It definitely is tough. This Soifon, of course, is amazing for it. She has Human Killer Plus. She has a great strong attack 1 with the team boost SA2, so if you do have her, you don't need to use a team boost normal attack damage character. And that therefore means you can use characters like the most recent Brave version of Yamamoto, who is a normal attack damage character, but he doesn't have a team boost. And that's fine because Soifon is the dedicated team booster. And Yamamoto is a character that just came out like 2 months ago. He is by far the best normal attack damage character for this phase. Good damage output, Flurry +2 in Guild Quest, and gets more normal attack damage the more waves that do go on. Alternatively too, while he isn't a Brave battle unit, you can just use Renji, right? Renji actually debuffs, he's a power character, he is a normal attack damage character too with Flurry 2, and the best part about Renji is that he is a power character, so you can pair him with Soifon and also Mashiro. Mashiro, funny enough, all 3 characters here, of course, have Human Killer. They're all power units, but Mashiro does actually make power characters better and letting them do 40% more damage. So as far as the Human Killer Guild Quest does go, it's kind of stacked. It definitely could go for an additional lead, but since we do have the data mine that this banner is returning, I'm going to assume the second phase of the upcoming Guild Quest week for end of the month is going to be more so to promote Soifon. Having said that though, what I don't think is going to be promoting a returning character, we do have the Ranged Quincy Guild Quest. Now in this case, we have access to 2 characters, that being Ogiura and also Toshiro, and they are good enough. Like, if you have these 2 characters, likely you are going to beat it, especially now that we do have access to the Brave version of Retsu. She is a more traditional normal attack damage character with a high damage output, and that's something this Guild Quest phase did, and to be fair, still does lack. They only have access to 2 normal attack damage characters, Retsu and also this Ruka, and Ruka is quite the odd character. Her damage output isn't nearly as high. Honestly, from like a meta standpoint, I feel like this end of month, if it wants to make a bigger impact on this Guild Quest, a normal attack damage character with a team boost would definitely be more ideal, because that would go perfect alongside someone like Okiura. And considering the fact that this upcoming end of month banner is going to be a seasonal, there's a chance it could be an Aranka, and it'd be really cool if that Aranka busts Aranka character's damage output. It would go very well with someone like Okiura. The thing is, though, while he doesn't need to be replaced, we definitely could get better than Okiura. It's not like as of now, after the 9th anniversary, he does anything super crazy. super crazy, right? Still an amazing character. He has Frenzy +2, does more damage to weakened enemies with the weakened defense, 80% spiritual pressure boost, gets more strong attack damage the more kills you do get, and he also does have the Getuku Jujisho 2-stage charge strong attack free. Great character. I think this guild quest phase just more so needs sides, but from the looks of it, this upcoming end of month is going to feature some type of new ranged Quincy killer. Whether that's going to be a new normal attack damage character to go alongside Aaroniero or a new SP unit to replace Aaroniero. I think either are going to be good here. Again, like I said, more options is never a bad thing. If you have Aaroniero, you can use him. If you have Toshiro, you can use him. If you don't have any of those two characters, well, you have another third character to pull for. Maybe again this upcoming end of month banner. Furthermore, if we scroll down, let's have a look at what we might see for the upcoming mid-month banner, our final mid-month banner of the year, right? That's scheduled to come out on the 18th, 19th. So likely if they were to follow up with a Nightmare Guild Quest phase to again promote some new characters, we might be seeing it around this time, the 23rd of December to the 29th of December. What that could mean is a new ranged holo killer, and also a new melee Sworper killer. I think in the melee Sworper killer phase, we don't definitely need a new character. We just got Basby. Highly doubt they would promote a new character for that. Ranged holo, honestly, right now I can't think of a character that comes to the top of my mind, which is quite crazy to think about because it should come to the top of my mind. We have Grammy. If anything, this could be a potential return date for Grammy around the end of the year, Christmas time. We know Grammy and Kenpachi are eventually going to get their Bravefest banners in December, maybe January. Very well, they could be having a Grammy rerun around December 25th, so you can use him again in Guild Quests, but also summon for him when he is available. So for this upcoming mid-month, I'm really not sure what they could be pushing for Guild Quest content in particular. If we scroll down though, now we can have a look at the end of the year, right? It's almost a month away. Like this time next month, it will be Christmas time. Likely we're going to get the Banka live stream, and as we know with any end of year banner like Anniversary, the characters we do get are of course going to be amazing in Guild Quest, but they aren't going to be Guild Quest focused units. You look at the new Soifon, Toshiro, Kenpachi, and Grammy, overall amazing units that are also equally as good / best options for the respective Guild Quest phases. So I guess what we could see at the end of the month, right, is a melee Quincy killer and a melee Espada killer. Melee Espada killer we can instantly cross off the table. I highly doubt any character is going to try and compete with 9th anniversary Kenpachi. And to be fair, that does make for a decent discussion, right? End of year, usually, more often than not, is very close, sometimes better than the anniversary. However, this year's anniversary characters were absolutely crazy. Kenpachi and Grammy both having frenzy-free, insane levels of damage. Insane strong attacks too, right? They're almost perfect units. There's a chance whatever we do get for end of month could compete with the anniversary units. You would like to hope so. It's an end of year banner. Don't think they'll be better, but there's no way any character here is going to try and compete with 9th anniversary Kenpachi. He's too broken of a unit, and with that in mind, there's no other character that can even go with him. Like Rukia was a good no-attack damage character we praised when she released at April early this year, but now she's useless because Kenpachi is just better used with characters that buff his damage output. There's no point to use a no-attack damage character with Kenpachi. So with that in mind, I highly doubt we're going to get any Espada killer for the end of year banner. Like I mentioned, they could have the Bravefest banners back to back. For Christmas time, they might want to have a Bravefest for Grammy active. I feel like they might want to do something for Christmas time because usually that Christmas Day or Boxing Day, they would have the post-election banner. And as of right now, it doesn't look like we are getting post-election this year because technically we already got it with the 2024 celebration summons. By all means, with the exception of Kenpachi and Grammy, this is basically what post-election would have been. So they could choose to rerun Grammy on Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and then maybe a week later for end of year, rerun Kenpachi. Maybe have both of them active at the same time in a combined Bravefest banner. It's expected they are going to return around this time of the year, and this Guild Quest schedule could be potentially hinting at when. If we go back at the schedule though, again, we could be getting a melee Quincy killer. We'll check that out in a second. But also, most importantly, it could be around this time. But then again, these Guild Quest phases almost have dedicated leads. Range, no affiliation. We'll look at that in a sec. And then Ranged Human Guild Quest. Definitely no character is being added for Ranged Human. We already have Byakuya. Again, more options never a bad thing, but Byakuya is an absolute amazing unit that there's no way they're going to try and make a character to somewhat compete with him. Especially not for end of year. So for Ranged no affiliation, it is quite the stacked Guild Quest phase. We have Toshiro. I guess end of year could bring us a new Ranged no affiliation unit, but it definitely isn't needed. Toshiro fulfills that spot very nicely, and even then, characters like Esno, Ichigo, and also Macy are equally as good characters. Not equally as good, but good enough characters to be used in even Nightmare Guild Quests. They have access to good normal attack damage characters too. I'd be very surprised if end of month, end of year more so, is trying to bring us a new ranged no affiliation unit. End of year potentially will be bringing us a melee Quincy killer. Let's have a look at what we have here. Now, end of year potentially will be bringing us a melee Quincy killer, and I can definitely see a spot to be fulfilled there, right? This guild quest isn't lacking options. Many people still use Yamamoto. You can use Ichibe. You can also use Noritoro, surprisingly, but of course the main go-to character is Isshin. Now, Isshin is an amazing unit, but the thing about Isshin, and it's not even that bad, it's not that big of a deal, but in terms of guild quest standards, we can get higher than Isshin, right? Isshin only has an increased chance to inflict stat augment against heart units, which is also good for non-guild quest content, but right now, at least in this guild quest phase, there's no character that has an increased chance to inflict against all Quincy enemies. So we could very well be seeing that at the end of the year with an EX attack, with some crazy power creep. I'm really not too sure. Isshin is already an amazing unit as is. You can definitely just use him, but I can see how we can get better, and very likely the end of year banner is going to feature a melee Quincy killer unit. Scrolling down even more, now we can look at potentially what we might see at the start of the year, around the middle of the month of January. In this case, I'm assuming maybe there'll be a focus on the melee Captain Killer guild quest and also the range Espada Killer guild quest. Now, to be fair, while it doesn't seem like it, Melee Captain really only has access to one SP unit. That mainly being Yachiru. She's a great character for that. I doubt whatever this character will be will replace Yachiru, but again, more options is never a bad thing. So we could definitely see and expect to see a Melee Captain Killer GQ unit for mid-month January. And that might be needed in all honesty, because to be fair, while Yachiru has become a bit more available, she might be in the end of year banner. She might be in who knows what banner, right? But she was available at the second part of the anniversary. She was available during the Renji, Rukia, Byakuya banner. Her being a filler, I think at this point isn't going to be super rare, which is good. It means you can pull for her, likely get duplicates of her. But like always, she can't be the only good lead for one particular guild quest, and the Melee Captain Killer guild quest definitely does need it. Alongside that, let's have a look at the Ranger Spada. Now again, Ranger Spada is quite stacked too. To be fair, it could get better. To be fair, it's lacking new normal attack damage characters. There's no Flurry 2 unit in this guild quest. They have good Nat characters though. Like Yukio and also Abirama are good normal attack damage units. Would like to get a non-tech Nat unit though, because I'll be honest, especially for new accounts, it might be a bit awkward even if you have the perfect team to build two normal attack damage characters, both needing the same accessories, for example. Okura is good, the normal attack damage one, but he does need to get an attack boost to be really good. Masaki is a good enough lead, but we definitely can get better. Likewise, with Okura, can get better. Same with non-attack damage characters. So for mid-month January, I would probably expect some type of Ranger Spada Killer. Could be an SP unit, could be a normal attack damage unit. Now, scrolling down to end of month January, right? This is going to be the first end of month banner after the end of year. Our first end of month banner for the year of 2025. Now, when it comes to end of month January, it usually is Valentine's themed. So this might automatically be a skip, but you never know what Caleb might have planned for 2025. At the same time, it could be the costume voting banner that we voted for earlier this year. By the time we get to this banner, it'll be last year. That banner in particular doesn't seem to be coming out this year because we have two Christmas banners lined up for end of month and mid-month. So we could potentially see the voting banner around this time, right? And in this case, what we could potentially expect to see, if there is to be a Nightmare Guild Quest, it would be for these two particular Guild Quest phases. Ranged Sternritter Guild Quest and Ranged Soripa Guild Quest. Now for Ranged Soripa Guild Quest, we just got Giselle, and Giselle is a great character for that. We definitely don't need a new unit. Like I said already, multiple characters isn't a bad thing, but you know, Ichigo, Aizen, and also Noelle, even Gin to a certain extent, are still perfectly usable characters in this Guild Quest phase. If anything, maybe we could expect to see Giselle to return around end of month January. Because getting a replacement of Giselle already would be kind of crazy. It could just be a normal attack damage character though. I mean, they have access to Orihime, but an additional normal attack damage character wouldn't be too bad. Never say no to that. But also, we could see a new Ranged Sternritter killer. So let's have a look at that. Ranged Sternritter, in this case, to be fair, that definitely is needed. One of the most lacking of options in terms of guild quest phases. Right now, you basically have one good SP unit, that being Toshiro, and one good normal attack damage character, that being Candice. So if you are looking to potentially make your guild quest teams better, or maybe even just get a team that can beat a guild quest phase, especially a nightmare difficulty one, you might want to save for end of month January, because what we are going to see here is likely a new Ranged Sternritter killer. Could be an SP unit, could be a normal attack damage character, but given the lack of options here, any is going to be good. So with that said, I think that basically breaks down the entire next 2-ish months of guild quest schedules, right? If anything, the main takeaways to look at here, is that this upcoming end of month is likely to feature a new ranged Quincy killer, an SP unit. So if you are lacking Toshin or Gura, this might be a banner that you want to pull on for Guild Quest content in particular. End of year could be featuring a new melee Quincy killer. Really hard to say what the other characters killers would be seen in that banner, but I would say mini Quincy killer is definitely a shoe-in for end of year. Mid-month January could feature a new Captain killer and also a Spider killer. If you're lacking in those Guild Quest teams / phases, you might want to pull on those characters, whatever they might be, if they do turn out to be what we are saying. And then end of month January could feature a new Sworper killer, but definitely is going to feature a new Stamritter killer, a ranged one at that, which is definitely something you'll need if you are lacking Toshiro and or Candice. For me personally, I feel like I'm kind of already okay as is when it comes to Guild Quest leads. The last ones I was missing was Giselle and also Bambietta, a ranged Aron killer and also ranged Sworper killer. No doubt these new characters coming out are going to be better than the last characters, right? But I think as of right now, for me personally, I'm not really in a desperate need for any certain new leads. So I'm kind of curious to see how these new characters are going to turn out. If anything, like always, I'll just be pulling because I want them. If they make my Guild Quest team better, sure, I'll pull. But I'm kind of at the point where I'm kind of satisfied with my Guild Quest teams. So for me, I'm really not sure what to look out for. If anything, maybe that upcoming melee Quincy killer at the end of the year. But the end of year ban, I'm pulling for anyway, regardless of what they actually are. Hopefully, though, whatever character I might be pulling for in the future is going to be a cool and fun character. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.